Hello, I am Meshell Baker, the Chief Confidence Igniter, and this is Mondays with Meshell. So let's get right into it. The number one mistake of imposter syndrome is, I wish I had a drum roll, believing that you're going to make a mistake. Yes, that is actually it. By another term, it's called perfectionism. What happens when someone is suffering from perfectionism is they have feelings of not being good enough, and that what the task or whatever they have done or doing or have done or did is never good enough. It is constantly under critique and looking for flaws. And even if it's not flawed, it could be the greatest thing that anyone else has seen. That individual is susceptible to the criticism of others. A question that you could ask yourself if you're curious, that do I suffer from perfectionism, would be, do I often feel like my work or my deliverables, the things that I do, are not good enough no matter how much effort I put in? This is also prevalent. For example, if the person does have the slightest feeling of good about their work, they allow themselves to have other people to dictate and show them that that it's not good enough as well. So that person will be easily criticized by another individual. Actually, I won't even say criticized. They'll actually be easily crushed by another person, especially if they hold that person in high esteem. If they're looking up to that person, looking for approval and attention from that person, affirmation from that person, they can easily be dissuaded to believe that they're good enough. And this causes all types of other behaviors. There's 4 P's. The first one I'm sharing with you today is the number one, and that's perfectionism. And in the weeks to come, I'll share the other ones. Now, some things to know when it comes to imposter syndrome. A study with 40,000 adults showed that 72% of the women in the study admitted, these are professional women, admitted to having feelings of imposter syndrome, and 63% of them attributed this to not feeling confident. So their ability to not feel confident, which allows a person to take risks and go outside their comfort zone, attributed to the onset of imposter syndrome, which created the ongoing feelings of imposter syndrome. And also 44% of the women who stated that they had imposter syndrome also said that they did a lot of comparing themselves to others. I want you to know we live in a society that you will compare. It is so easy to compare yourself. Most people wake up and look at their cell phone, and if that's something you do, go to social media, you're immediately in comparison. What you have is never good enough. So I'm going to give you a couple of ways for you to begin to move past the feelings of and overcome the feelings of imposter syndrome. This is not an easy thing, and it does require often to work with someone like a coach or a coaching group or a cohort or mentor or some way of going outside of yourself, so you're having ongoing conversation and feedback. And here are some things that you can begin to do on your own and seek out places to have the feedback for. So realign your beliefs and behaviors. Look at what your behaviors, what the things that have you feel like an imposter. Begin to stop, take a journal, make a note somewhere, and go back and assess what did you believe? Why? What was the why behind why you did something, or why you consistently do something that leaves you feeling inadequate? When you can actually stop and start to do this self-assessment and have a self-awareness, it is the first step to begin to think about what the next thing is, to revamp your emotions. So what are the feelings you're having when this imposter syndrome comes on? So, and it's reimagine your emotions. Now, once you know where you're triggered, right, where these feelings are coming on, where they're onset, then you can reimagine how you would behave if you were confident, or if there's someone you look up to and hold high esteem that you've just read about them or know them, ask them, what do you do when you feel like you're not a good enough? Or go do some research and Google, reach out to me. I'll have a call with you and help you with this. And When you begin to look at ways to reimagine how you will have emotions in the midst of that, your mind now can start to trigger these new ways, but it will never trigger a new way if you don't first reimagine it. And the third thing is to revamp your goals and aspirations. Without goals and aspirations for who you're becoming, how you're going to do things to help yourself feel proud of yourself, to help you to do things that you love and enjoy that are amazing for your life, there is no way you're going to begin to come out of this cycle of imposter syndrome. It literally requires that you have something to look forward to that's consistently taking you outside your comfort zone, that's building your self-image, your self-worth, and your self-confidence. So those things are absolutely necessary. Now, the other thing I'm going to share with you is if you are watching this and it is before Wednesday, March 27th at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, there is a Ditch the Imposter Syndrome webinar that I am doing that's hosted by Women in Trucking Association. I have had the pleasure of working with them over the last several years, and this is one of the things I'm renowned for, is my work around Ditch the Imposter Syndrome. You are welcome to sign up. It's free to anyone who signs up. You do have to sign up in advance. I've put the information in the show notes, in the comments. So if you have any questions, reach out to me. Again, I will be going through more of these P's over the next coming weeks. This week was perfectionism, and it's the number one mistake of imposter syndrome is the fear of making a mistake, which is perfectionism. I look forward to seeing you in the coming weeks, and if you can join me on the upcoming webinar. I am Meshell Baker, the Chief Confidence Igniter, Transformational Keynote Speaker, and Confident Living Catalyst. Have a great week.